Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So today we have another product review. This is actually from Itehil. This is a portable power station that can be charged up with solar. Now, I've done many reviews in the past on different type of brand and products of these power stations. We're going to do an unboxing. We're going to break this system down, talk about what it can and cannot do. So they've recently sent this to me. I wanted to take a look at it, run some tests on it like we always do. We got a whole lineup of tools and things like that we want to operate and see how well it does. So this is the 500 watt system, the IT500 watt. It has 750 watts of peak power. So remember that. The actual milliamp hours is 144,000 milliamp hours, and if you use the conversion, should be a conversion rate up there for you, is 144 amp hours of battery power. All right, so when you use your systems, you want to amp out all your equipment that you plan on using in case of a grid down situation. If you are what I call glamping, you're camping and you want power, you want to be able to run a fan, string up lights, things like that. You want to know what you're going to be drawing so much per hour. So it is an idea because these units are a lot lightweight compared to taking a gasoline generator, stuff like that. If you are using that for, well, like I said, what I call glamping, you're camping with power. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the box and go over everything inside here. Go ahead and open this up. Alright, first thing off the bat, got a little package here. Nice little case actually. Nice little hard case. Okay, so this is all our power supplies and everything. Looks like there is a user manual for the IT500. Yeah. Goes over any type of faults and things like that might pop up, so you actually know how to troubleshoot if you overload or anything like that. Talks about the LED screen and everything. So very nice. Let's move on. This is very important. This is an MC4 connector for your solar, so you can plug in a solar panel and tie that in to your unit so you can charge that way. We have our power brick for an AC. That's what that one there is. And we've got a DC plug to charge up using a vehicle. And we have a DC adapter that we can run DC appliance. So very cool. So let's get into it and we'll get to the unit itself. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's move this stuff. And we will get our power station out of here. There we go. A nice little handle, carry handle right there. It's like they use just a butterfly system. Alright guys, not bad for the size. Like I said, it's perfect if you decide that you need power while you're camping. Definitely. It's not too heavy. Looks like we got some vent fans on the side here. Also on that side, and also we got a light system set up here. So let's go ahead and check everything out. We got two main plugs right here. AC, we got DC plug here. We got our plug-in right here for our AC, and we also have our plug-in here. Well, that's a plug-in for AC and also DC if you're going to run it and hook it up to a car. We've got a plug-in right here for our solar. We got USB ports. We got a USB-C right here. We got a DC 12-volt system if we're going to run 12-volt appliances out of it. So we got a power mode here. Press and hold. I don't know if you guys can see that. We're charged at 100%. Currently this thing, just sitting like this, will run for 99 hours. Just sitting like this. Alright, so if you want to run AC, you just hold that down. And your AC pure sine wave emblem will pop up. DC, you hold it down. It's kind of hard to see in the sunlight here. And also, if you want your light, you just turn that on. Your light comes on. Now guys, this thing does have a strobe light ability, so if you have any problems with strobe lights, I'm just letting you know we're fixing to go through the modes of the light itself. You hit it at an extra brightness level, and then you got, looks like SOS. Alright, so it's not a strobe light, it's an SOS signal. And you hit it again, turn it off. So there's three settings. Pretty cool. Alright guys, so a little close up on the front end of this thing. So we got two AC outlets. These are one 120 volt, and they can withstand up to 500 watts of power. So you can draw 500 watts of power out of this. This is a 500 watt system with a 750 watt peak. But that's what the rating is for this. You also have your DC outlet. That's 12 volts. It's a 10 amp max. Okay, so as long as you're not running anything over 10 amps out of your DC, this current will definitely be able to pull everything. So we got, like I said, two USBs. They're 10 watts. We got one QC USB. That's a 20 watt. We got a Type C, which is a 60 watt. And then we have our 12 volt adapter here that we will plug in and run any of our 12 volt systems. Now in this system, guys, we have the LiFePO4. That's the type of battery system that this uses. It's a 500 watt hour, 144,000 milliamp hours, and it's got a 10-year usage. So it's got a 10-year shelf life on the batteries. That's what the company is claiming. It's pure sine wave, which is good. I mean, you need pure sine wave because I've used other systems that had not the pure sine wave. When you're operating the system, you can hear the whine and everything inside the electric motor, what you're trying to operate. So the pure sine wave has a nice current going through. So that's what you're definitely looking for in a power station. So guys, like we've always done, we want to do testing on our power station when we do these reviews. So one of the things I want to see out of a power station is the ability to run power tools, especially in case of an emergency. That's when you're going to need power. All right, so let's say you're going to need some type of power tool to run in case your house is damaged from a hurricane, things like that. You got to cut wood and stuff. If you didn't plan this out ahead of time to fit your windows and things like that, if things are damaged, or repair your roof. So right now we got a jigsaw here. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn our power station on. We're going to turn on our AC. And now we are going to plug in here. All right, let's see. I don't know what these things are rated at, but we've been using these on other tests. So all right, it powered up. Now we got to make sure we can run it and actually cut some wood. All right, so yes, it will work. The wood's wet. There's nothing rotten on anything here. All right, so with no load on this thing, it's less than 300 watts to operate. When we're actually cutting wood, we're right at 400 watts to operate. So this is a 500 watt system with 750 peak watt. So this was able to run our jigsaw. Now let's go ahead and move up and step up and try a different power tool. So okay guys, we were able to use our grinder. Now I did notice with the grinder, because it is a heavy load system, our power usage fluctuated between 480 to 620 watts. So with that in mind, this is a 750 watt peak. So we were hitting into that peak. I did see an icon pop up that said fan, which meant that the fan on the system did kick on, which is designed to cool off the system. Also, what else did we have going on here? The top section here, battery life. All right, while we were operating this heavy load, our battery life estimate dropped down to 41 minutes. In other words, 41 minutes of continuous use of this grinder is what we had in store. Now that we've stopped using it, our battery has everything stabilized back off. We have 80 hours left remaining at 98% while sitting right here and nothing running. So I do like the gauge on how it tracks everything, so you can kind of guesstimate of what it is that you're using and how long you can use it. So that actually takes a lot of the guesswork out. So it's not a guesstimation, it actually breaks it down for you. So I knew I could run this on a full charge for 41 minutes. That's actually awesome. Makes it all the guesswork, takes the guesswork out of your work. So let's move on. So one of the attachments they've actually sent us is the MC4 connector that hooks up to a solar panel. Now, this is not their brand solar panel, this is one of mine. This is a 100-watt solar panel. Like I said, you just hook up your MC4 connector, and you have your adapter, which will plug into the power generator here. Just plug it in, he'll kick on. Right now we are at 100% already, but it does show where the wattage is coming in as far as the solar power and things like that. So all in all, a real easy setup. Not many of the power stations I've reviewed in the past has actually came with their own cable set. This one did. I didn't have to buy any extra cables to hook up our solar or nothing. All you need is make sure that your solar system is hooked up with MC4 connectors, which is pretty much a universal connector for solar panels. And it just plugs right in. Alright guys, so we got a floor fan here. This is the type of floor fans we use here at the house. We got multiple ones. This one here we took out and it's in storage. I went and brought it back out just for this video alone because it's winter time here, so I don't really need a fan. But we need to know if this thing can cool things down. Will it power up a fan? I honestly believe it will, because these things are not very heavy draw on fan power and stuff like that. I do like the idea of having a unit that can actually circulate air, especially down here in Florida, because the heat is ridiculous. When the power is out during the summertime, it gets hot quick. So we're gonna go and plug in. All right, everything is on, still on. So let's go ahead and see on a low setting. I apologize if the wind's hitting the mic. On a low setting, guys, we are using 53 watts of power. 7.4 hours remaining in the battery system. So we're just going to let it run for a minute and see if that stays like that. At 7.4 hours at low, this fan will continue to run. This is only a 500 watt system. It's only got 750 peak watts. So that's actually pretty good. You get 7 hours, over 7 hours of fan time. So let's go and bump it up a little. This is the next setting up. We're currently using 59 watts of power. Our battery dropped down to 6.5 hours running at the second stage. Let's go ahead and go up to high. I'm going to turn the fan so it's not blowing in the microphone. How does that sound, guys? All right, so we're at 73 watts of power, 5.3 hours of battery. All right, guys, so we've got many different things here. One, I've got a light here on a plug in. We got our AC turned on. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Let me make sure we're not blinding the camera here. We are, actually. Let me move my lens up here. All right, this is a 60 watt light, actually. Let me move the camera a little bit. Okay, so this is a 60 watt LED light. We're currently running at 47 watts, so that's actually pretty cool. The listing on that bulb there is 60 watts. We can run that for 8.2 hours, just like that. We can run that light for 8.2 hours. But I also have a couple other things here. I've got a battery pack, I've got a flashlight, I got my cell phone, and I want to use that on these USB chargers and everything else to make sure that we can also charge everything up while we're running a light at the same time. Got the light out of the way there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our DC turned back on here. Our USB ports are powered up. So this is a battery bank. We're going to plug this one up right on the first one. There we go. Okay, so my LED's readout is charging up. It says I'm at 97% currently. I'm going to go and top this thing off. Set that there. We got our flashlight. This is a headlamp. I'm going to go and plug this one up as well. Let's see if we can run everything. And this is this little magnetic stick right there. We are currently charging. It's got a red light on the charge, so our flashlight is currently charging. And now we've got our cell phone. Let's go and plug this one right over here on this one. All right. And our cell phone is charging. And I got a bunch of missed calls. Imagine that. I always have missed calls. We're at 35% right now. And we're charging up, so let me go ahead and turn that off and just let everything charge. While it's charging, we're using a total of 69 watts. That is running a light that is running charging up all these little systems here at 5.5 hours of battery life. Now if I turn off our light, let's see what we get here. Total consumption of power, we are 27 watts charging up our cell phone, our battery bank, and our flashlight. We have time remaining 14 hours on our battery bank. So yeah, not bad at all. But if I wanted to run the light, turn the light back on here. Our total wattage is 69 watts and our battery bank is dropping. Let me see what our new hour estimate is. 5.5 hours. All right guys, so we are here with the mini fridge. Now we're going to go ahead and power up our power station here. And we're going to plug this up, guys, and we are going to I'm going to show you guys. Got no lights going on here. Let me turn off my headlamp so it picks up better for you. We're going to go ahead and plug her in. Let me turn on the AC first. You don't have to turn on the AC first, but I just got in the habit of doing that. All right, so our light's on. The fan of the power station just turned on. Now, one of the things that we do like to do here is we like to try to make ice with these power stations. So what we got here, we got our ice tray. Let's go ahead and fill this up with water. We're going to set this in here. And we're going to take a look at our power unit. Okay guys, so what I am reading right now, this is just turned on, so that means the compressor's kicking on. We are currently using 45 watts of power. According to this, we have 9.1 hours of runtime on our power station to run this mini fridge refrigerator. So when the compressor kicks off, in which we have to leave the door shut to do that, so it cools down and then the compressor would kick off, this refrigerator doesn't use that much wattage. Right now we're running 44 watts. It's actually rated at 60 watts, usually what this thing will run. Right now it's running 44 watts. We got 9.3 hours of runtime on our power station. So once the compressor shuts down, we should be able to get a lot better hours out of our battery. So we're going to let this run and we'll check it out later. All right, so like I said, we got 45 watts right here in the right hand corner. Battery's at 100%. We have 8.7 hours time till empty. So we're going to run that just like this, and we'll be checking it periodically until we make ice, and we'll be able to see how long it took and how much more power we still have. Alright guys, we're back again. We are at 78 hours. It says 78 running hours right here at the top, guys. 78. The reason being, once the compressor kicks off this thing and you leave it sealed up, this mini fridge, 4 watts. We're running at 4 watts on this mini fridge. So if you got medical equipment, insulin, things like that, you got to keep cool in a grid down situation. A mini fridge is a great option. This is not a chemical one like you see in RVs that uses ammonia and stuff like that to keep things cool. This actually has a compressor and everything. So we saw the kick on watt was below 60 watts to actually get the compressor going and stuff like that. And once the compressor stops, we are 68 running hours on this power station to run this refrigerator. That is a very long time to keep insulin and other medication that you might need nice and cool. We're running 4 watts on this. So I'm going to move the camera back. We got 92% left in our battery bank. I'm going to move the camera back and we'll go check out that ice tray. All right, there we go. Okay, so it is still, it's not completely solid yet, but let me go ahead and show you. We do have ice starting to develop. Yes. We got ice developing. I'm going to put this back in, guys. Now that we open up the door and everything, the ice box usually doesn't kick on the compressor much. It's the refrigerator part itself. But let's move the camera up and we'll keep an eye on this to see if anything else happens as far as the compressor kick on. Okay, so like I said, still at 4 watts, still got 78 running hours with this unit. This refrigerator is going to keep your medication cool, powered by this unit. This is a 500 watt, 750 peak watt unit. This is definitely key, guys. Having something to keep medical equipment, your insulin, other medication, at the correct temperature in a grid down situation. Now that's survival right there. Alright guys, like I said, this is a freaking awesome product here. I'm very impressed with this. It's dark out here, guys. I've been filming and it's nice and cold. Alright guys, so we haven't had any issues with this. Everything we've thrown at it has done a great job at it. Like I said, we heard the fan kick on the unit itself. The fan powered up when the compressor fired up on the mini fridge, which is expected. All right, it's protecting itself. But ever since then, the compressor shut off on the refrigerator, and this thing's been running quiet. It's been running at 4 watts, keeping everything operational inside the refrigerator. Freaking amazing. This is an amazing little product here, guys. These solar power generators, these little portable power station that you can plug up a solar panel. I mean, they have their own solar panels. I unfortunately did not get the opportunity to test out one of their solar panels for the system, but I have solar. So what I did, I went and got 100 watts, plugged in. We plugged in right here with the pigtail that they provided. Like I said, many companies do not offer that. You have to buy that separate. So all in all, guys, I am very much impressed with this. We'll unplug that, and we will turn off the system here. That turns that off. And like I said, though, we haven't done the light out here. So we did it during the daytime. Again, guys, there is a SOS light on this thing. So if you are susceptible to flashing lights, you might want to look away. That is a low setting. That's the next setting up. And that is your SOS right there, built into it. So you actually do have light settings built into this thing. So if you're needing lighting, stuff like that, it's already built into the system. Alright guys, this is a freaking awesome little product that we got to test out. I'm very happy that we got to test it out. So guys, the link is in the description for this. As soon as I turn off the light again. There we go. Link is in the description on this, guys. Definitely check it out. They asked me to do a review, and I said yes, because I like these portable power stations. I want to test these things out and make sure they can do what they say they can do, and what else can we do with it. They never said anything about running power tools with this machine, but we did. Went ahead and tested it out. We cut wood, we're using a grinder. I wanted to test this thing out and actually see what it's capable of, and we did. This is an awesome product. Alright guys, catch y'all later.